Why, hello there, and welcome to Futon Talks live.
Oh,
Kind
baby. We're on
We're
Twitch.
we're in person.
We're on Mixer. We're on Facebook streaming. Gaming?
Yeah,
I'm Mark Zuckerberg.
we are Mark Zuckerberg.
Together.
Hello. It's nice to see you guys, and it's nice for you to see us together. We are together.
Get jealous, Grace. You're not going to watch this.
It's
You've gotten
been
20 minutes into our first episode.
We haven't recorded in person since episode. Well, I guess it doesn't matter because we didn't post them in order. It's been months. It's been since Christmas.
That was long ago.
That was long ago. It is now August 9th? 8th? 5th. It's August 5th.
A 5 is like an 8. It's like a 9.
And I guess before we get into the topic, which is A Plague Tale: Innocence. Josh, how have you been?
I've been great. It's partially a lie and partially the truth. We just got finished moving here, and that was not great. We drove for like 13 hours, but it was good. It was good. Grace is working today. She's working as a dental assistant, and then I'm wasting my time here, not supporting my family. So it's good.
I like it.
Could it be better? Probably not. No. So I'm happy. But how about you?
I've been really good. I just like you, I am looking out for myself.
You're a rat.
I am buying things that I want and I need.
Yes. I like that approach to marriage.
Yes. But I guess we should get into the game.
Ooh.
That is A Plague Tale: Innocence. Now, Josh, you got me into this game. You suggested it to us. So maybe give me a little background of like, how did you get into this game? Do you have a few words to describe this game?
Yes. Let me tell you. The way I got into this game is like everybody who is a subscriber to PS Plus. I bought the game 10 days before it went on PS Plus, like a fool. I'm trying to remember how because that's kind of what happened. I platinumed it like a man on PS4, and I'm trying to remember what it was that inspired me. I have no idea. I think I just saw it was on sale, and I've been wanting to play this game. This is one of those games that I think I saw not a demo, but a trailer for it like 5 years ago or whenever this game came out, and I was really intrigued by it immediately. I didn't play it because I'm cheap, and knew that eventually it would be on sale.
Yeah.
But it really gave me like Hellblade vibes, and I love Hellblade, so I was like, ooh, I want to play this. But I thought it would be a perfect fit for us and for the podcast, because this is like, I feel like this is the kind of game that you and I would have played when we were teenagers together. You know, like this is a Chris and Josh game through and through. It's got story, it's linear, it's beautiful, it's a little gory, a little spooky, and it's also directed by French Steven Spielberg, it seems. It is, honestly, it is a really interesting game. So I just thought it'd be a good fit for the podcast.
I like that. It's a good backstory. I will second it by saying that you made me pay for this game before it went for free.
Did I?
Yeah, because we were planning on playing it and recording, and then the PS5 version was announced.
Of course. It was worth it. I want them to have our money, so they make a good one.
Yeah.
Or a good sequel, I mean.
Yeah, absolutely. Before I get into it, do you have 3 words? Do you have words?
I do have.
Are there words for this game?
Oh, baby. There are only French words.
Oui.
S'il vous plaît. No. I'm trying to think. I think the words I would give for this are beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to use the word harrowing because I feel like I used that very recently for a different one. But it would be beautiful. I had words for this. Gosh, Chris, I feel horrible.
You have your notes on you?
Notes. No notes here. I was thinking about it as I walked up. But it was going to be beautiful. Goonies. And probably like adolescent. Not just referring to the age of the characters, but just the feeling of the project itself and like the experience of playing it. I don't know how to describe what I mean.
No, I think those are good words. I will preface the audience, you, that we beat this game weeks ago.
It's been a while.
And so it's been a hot minute. But still the game is very fresh in my mind.
Fresh as a corpse.
And I gotta say, you picked some good words because we shared Goonies.
Hey, look at us.
And that's it. That's the only one that we shared.
You don't think it's beautiful?
I'll get into that.
Ooh, how interesting. That. I didn't know you were blind. I'm just kidding.
I have a myriad of words for this game.
Look at you, Mr. Myriad.
And
a plethora.
These are how I wrote them down as I was playing.
Oh, look at you.
Yeah.
You're like method podcaster over here.
This game, I have never written so many notes on a game before.
How would you write it on the game? It's digital. Sorry.
Shut up. But usually probably the most I've written for one of our games is Resident Evil 4.
Which makes sense.
Just because there's so many little details and I want to make sure that we get all the story pieces together. But all of my notes are feelings. I gotta say, the story is pretty simple.
Yes.
And pretty redundant.
Dang.
And you could call it and see it coming from a mile away.
Yeah.
But here are the words that I chose. I started with dire.
Ooh.
Then vile. Brutal. Then flawed.
Interesting.
Then Goonies. Then disappointing.
Interesting.
Then half-baked.
Interesting.
Then monotonous.
Interesting.
Bothersome.
Interesting.
And rough.
Ooh.
Now,
I sense you loved this game.
This game, it's very different because we did play the PS4 and the PS5 version. And those are two very different experiences.
Which one did you play primarily? I feel like you primarily played the PS5 version.
Primarily is a interesting word to use because I probably spent the most time on 4, and then I used a guide for 5 to get the platinum.
You didn't just do what I did?
No, I didn't do that. Because I think I explained to you earlier that because we both played the PS4 version on PS5, but I had deleted my PS4 version. And I did not want to go through the hassle of getting my PS4, downloading the game so I can upload the save file, and then turn it to my PS5 because I didn't get the platinum on PS4.
Oh, what a loser!
Yeah, no, the
Tell
game
this guy in the
is just
comments
awful.
What a freaking loser he was.
Yeah, okay. Well, the occasional UPS man walks by the window.
Hello, sir. You just got a sneak peek.
But there's one phrase. It took me a long time to get this phrase down. That was this is what the game is. You want to hear it?
No. I'm just kidding. Yeah.
It's the worst part of my favorite video games.
The Last of Us. I don't know. I just said that.
Yeah.
It's
good job.
I could see that, being the scavenging and crafting of The Last of Us, but that's the whole game.
Yeah. And, other games too. The stealth. We're going to get into it. Hear me. You better be ready.
Can I provide you with my thoughts on what you said?
Sure.
Because it's really... this game is such an interesting experience. Because I acknowledge that all of those things are true. Because I'll tell you, the stealth, it's light and okay in this game. It's really not super thorough.
Mm-hmm.
I think that it's kind of half-baked. Some of the enemy AI is pretty awful. You'll have guys a foot away from you turn around and see you for a second, and then you crawl back into cover, but you can see that your head is way over the cover, and they're I thought I saw something there. And then they just like walk away. Like, granted, that's a staple of like any stealth game.
Yeah.
But it is apparent, especially in this game, that some of it's a little bit half-baked mechanics wise.
Yes.
I found the crafting to be both Resident Evil 4-esque in the way it made me feel, but also annoying at certain points. Sometimes it accomplished what it wanted, and it was like, oh my gosh, like, what do I use my resources for? But at other times, it was just like, why do I have to get all these dumb resources? All I need is one cloth, and all of my problems would go away, and I can't use anything because I have to, like, keep all my stuff. And we'll explain the crafting system in a bit. But just saying that some of the mechanics got in the way of the fun by just being annoying.
Mm-hmm.
And the story was contrived, and even though I've heard a bunch of other people say different, I thought there were some problems with the writing and the voice acting where I didn't find all of it to be
yes,
on point. Yet at the end of the day, this is still one of my favorite gaming experiences I've had in the last year. It's just something about the way it looks, the art, how beautiful this game is. There's just something about it that really speaks to me.
I wrote it down. It looks like the game looks like a Renaissance painting.
Oh, it does.
The colors bleed into each other, almost like pastels.
Mm-hmm.
Almost like watercolor. It's very nice.
Yes. This is the thing. I don't actually love the characters in this game. I found most of them to actually be really annoying, especially the other kids you find.
Mel
is the worst. Her brother's annoying. I was like, good, cut that kid down. Spoiler alert. And then Rorik, or what the heck his name is. Roderick. They go for powerful moments, and they don't land for me because I don't care about these characters. Hugo's okay, and Amicia is alright. But what really makes this game stick with me and be incredible and make me be like, I'm pre-ordering the next one, is not the character. It is just this world that they've created, which for me is fascinating. Mm-hmm. This like pseudo history of France with the Black Plague, and there's like super rat pope. It's just, there's just something about this game that is incredible. The world they created is gorgeous and believable. Mm-hmm. And like, so it's one of those weird things where somehow this game is greater for me than the sum of its parts. There's just some love that you can sense was put into making this game that elevates it far beyond what it should be. Because I think in reality, it's kind of a low, it's better than a lot of games, but I don't think it's as good mechanically and narratively as all the reviewers say. I mean, this game gets like 9 out of 10.
This game has so much praise and has so many awards won.
But I agree. That's the thing. I agree just because of how it sticks with me on an emotional and like visual level. I mean, this game is beautiful and just the world is incredible to me. But I think you're right. Does that make sense? It's kind of a weird place
understand. For me. I mean,
plus it gave me 2 platinums, one of them for free.
Shut up. I love everything about this game except for the actual game.
Yeah, that is Sobo Interactive, like, freaking loses.
Get it together. The gameplay just gets in the way of everything I want to love about the game.
Mm-hmm.
And also, I think the writing isn't very good. The dialogue, they shouldn't have let the children have input on it, I don't think.
Yeah.
Like, just because they talk like kids doesn't mean that you should write the game like a child would.
Yeah, I don't...
Because, like, I think of Sam and Ellie in The Last of Us. Beautifully written.
By adults.
By adults. And they're believable as kids.
Yeah.
And it resonates more.
And Atreus as well. I think Atreus is really believable.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
And it was not written by whoever the child was that... And he was like a little kid. He was way younger than I thought. Atreus is like 13 looking. The kid who played him is like 7. Like, he's a little dude. Yeah, maybe he was just standing next to he might have just been standing next to the voice actor for Kratos, but he looked like a child.
No, I think he is a child. I think he's like 12 now.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah, he's really young. But yeah, man, I don't know. How do you want to go about talking about this game? Do you want to do pros and cons, what we liked, what we hated?
I like the pros and cons, just because I feel like that leads us through the story anyway.
Mm-hmm.
How about we try to quickly give a summary of the story and then maybe a summary of the systems involved so we can critique them?
Yeah, would you like to do that?
Yeah, I'll give a summary of the story. So, you've got... This whole story revolves around the Darun family. And you got this dude with a very 2020 haircut. You know, he's got like stuff like, you know, like etched in the side. He looks like he went to the barber shop like by the PDQ. But he's got this like sick haircut. And he's her dad. He's Amicia's dad. Amicia is the main character. Amicia de Rune. And they have these French accents because they're in France. I'll get to that later. I think they sound good half the time and pretty contrived the other half of the time.
Oh, quick aside. I'm sorry. I really wanted to play this game in French.
Right?
And it's terrible.
It's not good.
It's terrible.
It's really hard to play in French.
And
I
you
tried
can't
that
even
too.
hear it.
I know.
It's quieter.
It's
okay.
weird. No, I agree because
Okay.
I tried the same thing. I was like, oh, I gotta play it in French because it's. But
French.
The thing is, okay, story. So Amicia de Rune starts with the most traumatic experience of anyone's life. Amicia de Rune is, I'll just call her Amicia. Amicia is on a walk with her dad, and I think they're preparing for like the hunt. She really wants to go on this hunt with her dad. Anyways, so she's out there with her dog and her dad, and they're just chilling in the woods. She's complaining about how she never sees her mom because her mom is always caught up taking care of her little brother, whose name is Hugo de Rune. Anyways, they're going along the path, they're chilling, and eventually at some point the dog runs away and it goes down this terrifying, creepy, marshy path that her father lets her go down alone because she's running after the dog. And eventually she comes upon Leon, the dog, and he's like halfway in a hole in the ground. And I'm only going into detail because I feel like this sets up the whole story. Anyway, she approaches Leon and she's like, Leon, what are you doing? Why are you in the hole? And he's like, I'm a dog and I'm dying. And he gets sucked down the hole and blood's gushing out. And the dog's like crying like a dog, not like a human. And it's just this horrifying moment where this dog is like slowly consumed. It like goes limp halfway down. Its eyes roll back in its head and it's sucked into the pit.
It's really gruesome.
It's bad. Oh, Grace walked in at that moment. It's the only part of the game she watched. She's like, I'm not watching this. Anyways, Amicia, crying about Leon, is like drug away by her dad as he points a sword at the hole, which granted, one would do.
Mm-hmm.
Not very helpful, I imagine. But anyways, you realize later that the thing that made the hole, the thing that killed the dog, the thing that's making the forest look all gross and marshy and black is these rats. And it's kind of a fresh take on the bubonic plague, the Black Death. Mm-hmm. And these rats play a huge role in the story. They're causing sickness throughout the region in England as well as in France. They're killing everybody, but it's not just like a plague. It's not just a disease that kills everybody. In addition to that, it's also like rats that eat you and steal your dogs and pull them into holes. Anyway, so that's the backstory with the rats. But they go home with her dad and he's like, we gotta put up some walls to stop these rats that tunnel. And you're like, okay, I'm gonna go he tells you to go talk to your mom to make sure Hugo's safe. And you go do that and you realize the reason your dad wanted you to go to Hugo and your mom is because there is a group of people called the Inquisition, and their whole job is to stop the threat of the rats, whether that mean killing the rats or finding a solution to stop the rats or finding a cure for the disease, right? Mm-hmm. And the Inquisition, spoiler alert, wants Hugo because Hugo has something called the Prima something? You remember what it's called?
No, but I'm surprised you remember that much.
Prima mancha or something like that.
Mancha?
It means no, because it's the word for stain in Spanish. I think it's prima mancha or something like that. It's not the first night, baby. I sure hope not. Poor Hugo. But the prima mancha is this thing which, again, spoiler alert, allows Hugo eventually, once he taps into it, to control the rats. Mm-hmm. So the Inquisition, led by Super Pope, wants to get Hugo so they can take his blood and make it so the Pope has the prima mancha so he can control the rats. That's the driving force of the story, is the Inquisition is after this kid, Hugo. So, anyways, Amicia goes into the house. She's with Hugo, watches her dad's, head slit. He's dead. His throat gets slit. And she's like, oh, that's sad. Which it is. And then she leaves. She thinks her mom dies. And Hugo and her run away. And anyways, the rest of the story is pretty much her and Hugo developing a relationship, which is... They tried. And I think it was pretty good. I think it was the best part of the narrative, even if it didn't always land for me.
For sure, yeah.
I think they did a pretty good job of not just being like, oh, now we're friends. It took time, and I admire that. But as you develop a relationship with Hugo, eventually you kind of get a home base in this old cool castle that was used by this group of people back in the day who stopped a rat plague, which was like 1,000 years ago. And that group kind of plays a role. They're alchemists. Mm-hmm. And anyways, I know it's kind of confusing because there's a lot. But they also start developing like this group of Goonies kids, most of whom are kind of annoying and not as effective as the Goonies. One chick is a thief. One guy is like a blacksmith who can run through doors.
Yes, that's a superpower.
Like he's from Warzone. But anyway, this group of kids kind of congregates in this. Oh, and then one other kid who's actually important. I think his name is Lucas. He is an alchemist, and so is Hugo and Amicia's mom. And his goal is to make some sort of potion that'll stop the progression of Hugo's disease, which you eventually realize is like a superpower. Yeah. So I don't know why they were trying to stop it. But anyways, they all work together. They go on kind of side quests together, trying to help each other. And eventually, at the end of the game, Hugo develops his super rat powers, and you confront Super Pope, who has also developed superpowers, but with white rats.
Pope Sidious is what I called him.
That's exactly right. It's Pope Sidious. And you confront Pope Sidious by killing him with rat tornadoes. And
Aspen was watching me play that part, and she said that was the stupidest thing she's ever seen.
It really toes the line, because like there's parts where it's like, oh, this is kind of epic, you know, because Hugo's just standing the rats like,
Yeah,
and he looks kind of cool, you know. He's got his little outfit on.
Can I say something about Hugo?
Yeah, tell me about Hugo.
He's the best animated child I've ever seen in a video.
He looks incredible.
His movement is far better than any of the other models.
It's impressive how childlike his run animation is.
It's a little uncanny.
It is. It's a little creepy.
It is a little creepy.
What were you doing filming those kids, Asobo? What were you doing?
What were you doing?
It's good. And I would say Amicia's animations are also on point in most cases. Every once in a while you'll have something really weird.
Yeah.
But just in general, the animations of this game are pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
But his are so good that it's like...
It always caught me off guard. Like, I would be like watching him like, wow, they got like the hand motion, the arm motion, and
is that a kid in my screen? How'd he get in there?
Get out of there!
There's a 2-dimensional space. But that's pretty much the story. You kill Pope Sidious with the rats. I think you kill him.
Yeah, you kill him.
Yeah, you kill him, and then they're like, let's go kill some more folks. It's kind of the end of the game.
Yeah.
Oh, I guess, and then they have the epilogue where everyone hates you because you're the Rat King.
Yeah.
And then you have to leave.
Pretty much.
But that's, in a nutshell, the story. Did that make sense? I feel like that made sense.
That made no sense at all. You have to start over.
Guys, I'm sorry. Spoiler alert again. But yeah, it's an interesting game.
It is interesting.
Give me your take. Christopher Midling. Also, this episode is...
It's
sponsored
Zions Energy.
By PDQ. The place we buy Zions Energy.
Yes.
It almost went my nose and killed me.
All right. Nice little commercial break there.
Thank you, Zions.
So, I didn't realize that I did make a pros and cons list.
You did?
List. Yeah, while I was playing.
It was your feelings.
Kind of, yeah. I'll give you my pros really quick.
Oh, I like that.
Because there's more cons.
I mean, at least this isn't Greedfall, the other Asobo interactive game.
It's not Asobo. It's Spiders.
It is. It's Asobo. Well, they're the same producer.
Oh, okay.
It's part of the Asobo Interactive family.
Oh, okay. So that's interesting.
I know, right?
The world building, great. I love the world that we're in. You know, it's very dark and gritty. One of my, I have like two favorite like vistas almost. The one where you're in the town, like right after you escape in the beginning of the game. That town just looks amazing. It's very narrow and claustrophobic. And then when you're at the graveyard of all those soldiers who are dead.
Oh,
So good. So good. This game has really impressive lighting.
oh yeah.
Like,
It's crazy. The fire actually looks good for
the
us.
fire looks really good. How'd they do it? Kids and fire.
Kids and fire. There, you killed it.
They should stick with that next time. A fantastic color palette, and then Hugo's animation were my other pros, but that's it.
Speaking of which, of these visual aspects,
Mm-hmm.
in post, I'm gonna add all the screenshots we took just for a moment here. I want to show them because this game is just, the fidelity is out of this world. How beautiful it is. Like you were saying, with the art in this game,
Yeah,
is incredible.
I think I might have taken one photo.
I took probably 40. Anyway, so as we're talking, they'll be coming across the
I
screen.
hated the photo mode.
It's a little bare bones. It took me a little while
It's
to get
very
used to it.
stiff and bare bones. Yeah,
It's
you
not
can
as good as
change
some.
it from color to black and white,
I know. I don't think I ever used the black and white.
and you can't really like zoom out enough.
No,
And you don't have a lot of freedom.
It's kind of like the Mass Effect one. Oh, speaking of the photo mode, sorry.
Right.
You know that section at the beginning that's really cinematic and cool where you're running away from your house
Yeah.
and like the ground's erupting and rats are everywhere and there's
Yeah.
people in the distance with lanterns and you can see the lanterns like coming up on you from behind.
Uh-huh.
So I took a screenshot there because I thought it'd be cool to get a picture of them running with the people behind them.
Mm-hmm.
And you'll see it on screen, but all the people are T-posing because I don't think they thought anyone would look behind them.
Funny enough, I caught another little thing in the photo mode. If you use the photo mode near rats, there are no rats behind you, no matter what.
No way.
PS4 or PS5 version. Because there's that really cool scene when you go back to where your dad died.
Maybe that was a glitch because I have pictures of that.
I don't know, man. Every time
That is so weird.
I would use the photo mode, the rats would only be in the front of my view, like in the cone.
That's
and then everything
interesting.
behind me would be bare.
That's
PS4 and
crazy.
PS5.
I was like, I had more issues with the photo mode on PS5. That's when all the T-posing happened. Just by the way. But
I
yeah,
was like,
that's bizarre.
I was like, this kind of ruins the point of having a photo mode in these like epic scenes where there's like thousands of rats like doing a vortex around you.
Thousands of rats that are made of approximately 6 polygons.
Yeah. Oh yeah. If you go look at those rats, man,
Don't look at the rats.
they're little turds with candy coming out of them.
little what are those things called? Little red cinnamon candies. They're like Mike and Ike's.
Yeah.
Yeah, like the hot whatevers.
Yeah. Whatever.
But I'm sorry for interrupting
The hot
you.
ones. Yeah.
Hot ones.
No,
Is that what they're
that's
called?
No.
I feel like that's what they're called.
I think it's Flamin' Hots.
Flamin' Hats. That's like a Cheeto.
Yeah.
They got Cheetos sticking out of their eyes. I'm gonna look up cinnamon Mike and Ike's.
Okay.
This is very important, Chris. Hot tamales.
Hot tamales. There you go.
tamales. Have they ever?
Those are huge ones, though.
They're kind of the same shape as a tamale.
Okay.
Yeah, Mexican candy.
Just a funny aside. I wrote down Arthur dead. Who cares? LOL.
Is that Mel's whatever? Her brother?
That's Mel's brother.
Ain't
who-
no one care about Ike.
You see him once in the game and then he dies,
I know.
and then you're supposed to care. That's my problem with this game. It thinks that you care.
I'm just not there.
They haven't given me any reason to care.
Yeah. Spoiler alert. Roderick, or what the heck his name is, dies.
Oh, yeah.
And it's like almost there.
I
Because
have-
it's like, oh, it's a good sacrifice, even though he could just pushed it from the side. But, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I know what you mean.
It's like almost.
There's an easy fix for this game for me, but I'll get to that later. Let me go through the cons.
The rat
real quick.
himself,
What?
Neil Druckman.
Yes, the rat king himself.
Anyway, sorry.
So obviously the gameplay, it gets in the way of itself.
Is this still the pros?
This is the
pros
con.
end?
The pros are
over.
no more good things.
Get out of here.
This is the depressing podcast now.
Dang.
Where we make fun of Team Asopo.
Futon failure.
Honestly, the gameplay is a failure. The gameplay is so... Oh, it hurts my hand playing this game.
It's like your scream when you...
When I saw that spider.
Yeah. Oh!
I'm serious, man. There is something wrong with moving Amicia around.
What?
You have
like
no
it.
room for error, but there's like some sort of like, you can't turn around. She has to like hover like a 180 to get in position. Like she has to, for some reason, in order to spin around, she has to do like a full circle.
It's because it's a real
to turn.
animation.
So then like, if you get touched by a rat, you're dead. And then you have to go through a loading screen.
Yeah.
And it sucks.
The loading screens in this game are very long.
PS5 included.
Yeah, they're long.
And talk about, you have a 5-foot like gap between an enemy, you're dead.
Yeah,
it immediately goes
close.
into game over.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my gosh. How frustrating that was. I got so mad at this game, Josh. I wanted to tear my controller in half. Like, I just wanted to take it from the ends and just go like this.
Man, you had a bad experience
I
playing this
did.
game.
There, it's just like
Maybe
little
you're just
things.
bad at games.
No, there's just little things like that I know it's not my fault, but it keeps happening.
That's so interesting. Because, like, can I share an experience with you that I think kind of relates to this?
Please.
It's like the combat in general, the combat gameplay. This is the thing. At first, and at certain points, I really disliked it because if you make a mistake, you're dead. You know?
Mm-hmm.
Like, if you miss a rock, which is hard to do because it has extremely generous auto-aim, which at first I was annoyed by, but then I was really grateful for. Just because of how quickly enemies respond to you. But there are many times where I'd come up on like 3 dudes and I was like, okay, how am I going to take these guys down? Like, okay, I'm going to throw this one, like this crafted material that like melts his helmet at this guy. I'm going to throw a normal rock at this guy's helmet so he comes towards me. Then I'm going to hit this guy without a helmet with a normal rock. And then I'm going to turn back, undo the light that guy's carrying so that he gets eaten by rats. And then I'm going to take another rock and get the guy whose helmet I broke off.
Yeah.
And part of it was a little annoying, but I found it to be a good challenge because it was like, you have to be perfect. You have to be like, boom, 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 boom. And it was really satisfying when you finished that encounter after 4 seconds of killing and you were done and you won. And so it's like, and I felt like all the controls are that way. There's just not a lot of forgiveness. If you make a mistake, you just die. And I can see why it's annoying, but I also had a couple experiences that made me feel like I was them. Like, how would I do this? Like, how could I survive? So I get what you're saying, though. I hope that doesn't
It's
take
by
away from
one-shotting a 250-pound guy with a little stone.
Have you ever heard of David and Goliath? No. I mean, I would die if somebody used a sling to throw a rock in my head at 30 miles per hour.
It's just... like, we're...
But I don't know. I get what you're saying, though.
It bothers me how much combat there is in this game. It really bothers me. Like, that first encounter when you kill the first guy that's attacking Hugo, perfect. I loved it. You snuck up on him, and he taunts you, and he's holding onto Hugo, and you kill him on accident, kind of. Almost like a Far Cry 3 thing.
Yeah, it's like you didn't mean to do it.
Yeah, and you feel
talks
bad
about
for
that.
it. And then you go and kill another man immediately.
Yeah, I thought that was a little odd. Like, it should have given that space for her to be sad.
Yeah, but I liked that fight too, because you were like breaking the armor down, and then you get the one-hit kill.
Exactly.
And then from then on, it's you just are a sniper with a slingshot. You're the American sniper over here. You're swinging.
Bradley Cooper.
You're Bradley Cooper. And you're swinging your rocks at like 30 other guys, and they're all dead.
There's actual parts where you do kill like 10 guys in a row as they walk in a room.
So many guys. and they don't realize that their friends are dead.
Yeah.
And then you get to the 90-year-old man at the end of the game, and he takes 3 bricks to the face before he dies. And he doesn't even die from the rocks.
No.
That part made me laugh so hard that it took more than 1 rock to kill this guy.
He's got the rats.
His face should have been mush.
The rats, Chris. The rats kept him alive. I agree. No, it is interesting. There's some dissonance there, and I think that you point out the perfect point that, like, maybe those perfect circumstances that I talked about. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's right, and that's good design. But most of the encounters are not designed well.
They're designed around being stealthy, but the stealth is so bad that you have to resort to killing everybody.
Yeah, it's like I never felt like there were enough paths for me. Mm-hmm. Or it didn't seem obvious enough what I was supposed to do stealth-wise. Yeah. Like, sometimes it's obvious and you just do it. Like, oh, throw the thing at that thing, and then you can go by. But I agree. I wish there'd been a lot less resources.
For me, take out the resources.
But I like the different puzzle elements that are provided by that.
Yes.
Like, I like that I had the Ignifer, and I like that I had the other ones I can't remember the name of.
Yeah, but yeah, I know what you're talking about. Yeah, I'm like, I like that stuff.
Without it, there's no puzzles, and I think the puzzles are a pretty good part of the game.
They're all right. It's usually just like, take a stick that's on fire, and hopefully you don't get caught with it, like, unlit with rats around you.
Hopefully you walk exactly in the right path to exactly the right place, otherwise you die.
Hopefully you have bare milliseconds left to light a bonfire. So, yeah. Okay, I'm just going to say it. This game should have been more like Detroit Become Human.
I do not agree.
You do not agree?
I do not agree.
How can you not agree?
I think this game, even though it sounds wrong, I think this game is exactly the way it should be. I don't think they should change it. The only thing I would change is the resource economy. I think they should have made it so it was less attractive to kill people.
I love you, but you're insane.
You're insane. I think this game lives and dies on the fact that you have to control Amicia and Hugo. I think their relationship wouldn't be there.
No, you can still do that. I mean, Detroit Become Human lets you move around and stuff at times. But then when it comes to those decisions, those puzzles, just giving you the options, and it would prevent the feeling of, I'm playing the game. Oops, I made a mistake. I'm dead. Loading screen. Do it again. And then the feeling is gone of, the intensity is gone. Once you die and you have to restart, because now it's just a puzzle. And then I'm like, I don't want to play a stupid puzzle game. I want to play
a big boy game.
I want to play a story where I'm Amicia Daroon and I'm trying to save my little brother from dying from a disease. I want the story.
I don't know. I never died. So I only died like probably 4 or 5 times playing this game. I
That's
just don't.
Insane.
I don't think I had the same experience as you. I was just very careful.
I died.
You just threw Amicia's life away. Maybe if I died more, I would agree. But I found it very tense.
So I think because it is called a survival horror game.
Yeah.
Which, whatever, I think for it to be a survival horror and for it to be an effective one, you should be able to take at least 2 to 3 hits. That way, so it's like, I got hit and I gotta run away. It doesn't make sense.
Because, but think about it.
Well, then animated, just them knocking her down and about to swing, but you still take the damage.
I guess.
It's like almost like the Uncharted thing where it's like your luck is running out and then you die.
Yeah.
Because I feel like that would be... Because when I think of Resident Evil 4, or when I think of The Last of Us, I'm not thinking, oh, dang, I'm going to die in one hit if I make one wrong move. Which, in theory, is like, yeah, that's the peak survival horror, It's like, you make any mistakes, you're done. But from a gameplay perspective, it just gets annoying if I make a mistake.
Yeah.
And then I get mad at myself. And then I get mad at the game because then I start looking at where the game is like making this happen.
Yeah.
Just like having that 5 foot like death range from any enemy.
You really wanted to get close to these guys. You wanted to smell them.
Why wasn't there a melee? Why can't you swing the slingshot at them?
Because I think that she's a child. But
So?
I mean, have you... I don't know if you've ever like learned about slings. They're really, really strong.
Okay.
I mean,
swing it at some guy's face.
But it's not as strong to just like swing it at someone like helicopter into their face. Like it's strong because it's a projectile, you know?
Sure.
They were like a thing. Like this isn't like an Amicia thing.
Yeah, I know. It's...
Like they're very deadly.
Yes.
But I don't know. I wish I would have leaned more into the stealth. Lean more into the stealth. That way you're encouraged to be more stealthy, have more stealth mechanics.
Yeah.
And less items.
Less combat.
But honestly, I get what you're saying.
The combat is so good when it's just like one-on-one with a big brooding guy. You know? I'm tired of killing these guys who look like rats.
They do look like rats.
And there's just countless of them.
They're all the same model too, which is a little disconcerting when
they're
you get
all the same bowl cut.
Like, oh, what's this guy?
Same huge schnoz.
Yeah, schnoz.
But yeah.
I see where you're coming from. I respectfully
had a bad
disagree.
time with this game, and my wife can attest to it.
I think you're just bad at this game, but who has 2 platinums?
This is true. You have 2 platinums.
But I get what you're saying. It definitely needs tweaking.
Yeah, the sequel, Requiem, should fix that.
I wish it was just called A Plague Tale.
Yeah.
I really don't like
why does the first game need a subtitle?
Right? That's what I mean. Like, does the first game usually have a subtitle? Like, Innocence, it makes sense. Because it's like Lost Innocence. We get it. But we could have gotten that for ourselves.
Yeah, duh.
Okay? Like, we understand. I just feel like A Plague Tale would have been better. And then the second one could have been A Plague Tale 2.
A Plague Tales.
But it's spelled with, like, the tail of a rat.
Or A Plague's Tale.
Oh.
I kept calling it A Plague's Tale for the longest time.
Because you're a fool.
Because I can't read.
But yeah, weird name. I thought it was odd. And I don't love Requiem. It's like one of those names that a corporate office like poops out, you know, whenever they want a sequel name. Requiem. Revelation.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? It's just like, oh, Requiem. How interesting. That tells me so much.
Yes.
Just A Plague Tale 2. Then we know which one it is.
A Plague Tale again.
The second Plague Tale.
Another Plague Tale.
A plague story.
Oh.
A plague fable. A plagal fable.
I like it.
Yeah, I should be in that room.
There's two other things that caught my eye.
In a negative way.
It's like there's so many tropes in this game.
Yes.
Not just with like the characters and this very predictable story. And like when you see that weapon wheel for the first time, you're like, obviously one of those is going to be you controlling the rats.
Really?
I thought that immediately.
I'm trying to think about... I don't think I saw the rat control coming.
Man, you were just... this game had its hooks in you, man.
It had its little rat
you.
teeth in me.
I envy you.
I don't know where you got this rat control idea from.
Just video games, man.
This is the thing. I didn't think it was going to be rat control because prima mancha means like the first stain. And I was like, I don't know why the first stain would have anything to do with you being able to control rats. You know what I like? So I was thinking about it that way. Like, what could it mean? Like, why would this signal like the rat plague? Like, I was just thinking about it. I just never even thought about you being able to control the rats. I just assumed it would be yet another absolutely useless power.
Yes.
Like melt helmets, which I used twice, and the one that uses all of your resources, which I used never. There are a bunch of dumb little things you can craft. They should have kept it to like Ignifer, the water one, and the rock. And maybe
Honestly,
the
I
one that
would've just
attracts
been
the
happy.
rats.
Just the Rock and maybe Ignifer.
Yeah. Like, because the Rock can just put out lanterns until you get the water one.
Yeah.
And then they're like, not anymore, kid. You can't use that anymore.
Yes. And then playing as Hugo. Kind of saw that coming.
I didn't like playing as Hugo.
I did not.
That was my least favorite section
when you
of the
have
game.
to play as the smaller like character that you've been like guiding this whole time in any video game, it's not very good.
That's
I was
why
surprised
The Last of Us
it
Part
was
2 is the worst game ever made.
I was surprised that it wasn't in first person because that's what they always are.
Oh,
It's always in first person when you're like the little guy.
the little boy.
I
I wish I could play as a rat. And kill
just play
everybody.
Dishonored. Then you can play as a rat. Which this game
I'm a fool.
kind of reminds me of Dishonored.
There are rats involved.
Being bad.
Chris is like, what's one of the most critically acclaimed games ever made? It's bad.
I hate it.
You know, my least favorite movie is
I'm kidding.
the freaking Rosebud movie. What's that movie called again?
I don't even know.
You don't even know. It's
I
like the
don't
best
remember.
movie ever made, apparently. Citizen Kane.
Citizen Kane, yeah, whatever.
Rosebud.
Um,
That movie sucks.
Yeah, it does. It's boring. And then the dream sequences. There are 2 of them. Back to back.
I think they're really good.
The first one sucked.
Which one is the one with the arms and the hole?
That's the second one. That one's good.
That one's really good. What's the first one?
The first one is when you're just like walking around and all the old
Just get him a 9-year-old woman.
I can't say that anymore without thinking that.
Walking around. Just get him a 9-year-old woman.
But you're just walking and
Where are you walking around? Sorry.
and it's just like the one in Far Cry 3 where you meet your old characters that you've like passed and they're like, oh, how could you be doing this to Hugo? And it's
I remember it now.
it's
That was
just
alright.
like, why are you just making me walk more?
This is the main problem with this game. It's 3 or 4 hours too long.
Yes. Oh my gosh.
That's the main problem.
That it doesn't need to be that long, but they make it that long because they make you slow down so many times. They prevent you from sprinting
Constantly.
80% of the time.
Just, I'm holding down L2, baby. Let me run. Let me run.
R2.
I don't care. The right one. No, I agree with that very
It's
much.
like, I hate when games do that, where they make you like, it's like, really sink in here. You're going to focus on the game. You're going to focus on everything we're showing you.
You know what I'm focused on? The fact that I can't run.
Look at our horrible pixelated dirt.
If I wanted to walk, I would go outside.
Yeah.
Okay? I'm with you.
I can't stand stuff like that. But I interrupted you. What were you going to say?
Dude, no clue. What was I saying?
I don't remember.
I think I was complaining along with you. Just that I think a lot of the issues in this game, like, oh, the stealth sucks, or, oh, I don't like that I die so fast, or, oh, I don't like that I can't play video games. Like, all of these concerns would kind of go out the window if it was like 4 or 5 hours shorter.
Mm-hmm.
And I think they easily could have told the same story in 5 hours. Just cut out.
There's a few chapters that you just get rid of.
Yeah, there's like cut out Roderick and Mel. Let the story
Dude.
just be what, you know, Hugo and Amicia.
Yes.
And Lucas. I think Lucas is good. I think Lucas makes sense.
Lucas makes sense.
And he's the best companion.
Oh, for sure.
And like his story fits in because he's the alchemist and he's trying to help Hugo.
Mm-hmm.
Like it makes sense to me.
Yeah, he's the apprentice of the other alchemist, and he's just trying to do right by him after he passed away.
Yeah, and I think if he died, that would have been the most effective death. But he's the only one that doesn't die.
Yeah, Mel just leaves. Thank goodness. Like,
I'm so glad she's gone.
like they didn't even want her in the next game. And yeah, Arthur.
Is he even a character?
No, he's not.
Is he even there?
Yeah, he just dies.
He's
and
an
then,
ability for 5 minutes.
pretty much. And then Roderick, who could have had some pretty effective emotional like pulls, but I think another one of those problems is that like why I want this game to be more like a Detroit or a Heavy Rain is because when it gets into those moments where you walk and you find Roderick's smithery, or whatever you call it.
It's like a bakery.
Yeah.
He's Smith, so it's a smithery. Forge? I don't know.
Forgery.
A smithel, as it were.
Yeah. It's just like kind of awkward, and I'm moving Amicia around, and he's having like this really emotional experience where he like gets on his knees and there's ash everywhere, but I'm just like, can we get going? I just came for the trophy.
I know, like he's crying on the ground and you're like in the corner looking for some cloth.
I'm looking for like dead skin and rocks.
Are there any dogs I can take the skin off of? Oh my gosh. She's like, are there any rocks in your dad's skeleton? Like,
there's just a few scenes where it's like, if this was a movie or if this was like Detroit, like a very nice cinema, like just a very nice clean shot would work wonders instead of this thing that's just happening in the background that I'm not a part of.
I agree.
Also because I don't care about Roderick, because I have no reason to care about him.
I think that's the thing.
He broke doors for me. And then he like turned into a serial killer.
I know. He's like, oh, I'll take this one. He's like, break his neck.
He's like, I'm afraid I like that too much. He's like, shut up, dude. He's like, so cringe.
You're terrifying. You're just a straight killer, bro. No, I'm with you. Like, because at least Amicia, like, I feel like she has really good lines when she's killing people. I heard, by the way, I watched a couple reviews of this game just to see what people thought. And one guy was like, Amicia knocks out people with rocks. No, she don't. They did. She kills them. Those rocks, like, go through their eye sockets. Like, they're gone, dude. She ain't knocking anyone out.
Yeah.
Anyway, so she's killing people, and she, like, get really angry and talk about her family. And I think they did a good job with that.
Yeah.
I remember admiring that. She goes from being like, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to being like, I'll kill you.
Yeah.
It's for my mom. Just like straight up. But it's a better evolution than Roderick, who does it once and is like, I like the feeling of blood on my hands. Like, he just like totally changes.
Yeah, he like kills him. He's like, I'm gonna wear your skin.
He's like, can we bring some rats home so I can break their little necks? Like, oh my gosh, dude.
I need the practice.
I'm gonna suplex this rat. Wouldn't that be the best bug if some dude loaded in as a rat and you can suplex him?
Oh my gosh. That would be awesome.
That would be a feature.
I would pay money for that.
Just a game of rat suplex.
Man.
I don't even know how we got here.
This whole game. I had a point I was going to make. Another thing that bothered me. But I don't think it even mattered. Oh. I knew the mom wasn't dead from the very beginning.
Yeah.
That was like a death off screen, really.
It is kind of funny though. Like what happened? Like this dude pushed her out of the way and then like bloody sword came through and why didn't the mom say, I'm alive, kids?
Yeah, like, oh no, not my friend.
She was just like silent. Thanks for saving me, bub.
Maybe the guy hit her over the head with a rock as he was protecting her.
Also, I love like, what's his name? Nicholas? There's like a Sir, an evil knight. Okay, like an obviously evil knight, who I think's name is Nicholas.
Oh, yeah.
He's kind of a main character.
I guess.
He's like he's the driving force behind the Inquisition. He's like the face of the Inquisition, even though he has a mask and you never see his face. But he's like riding full speed at her mom to kill her. But he had no intention of killing her.
Yeah.
Right? Like, he was going to capture her.
Yeah.
But he's definitely riding at her like he's going to decapitate her.
Yes.
I like that he's on a horse riding.
Uh-huh.
This is the perfect chair for this motion. And then he's like, it's like a slashing motion, but then the sword like pierces through the door. Like he just hops off and like... Anyways, a stupid detail, but...
I hate the evil priest design. Like once you get into like the latter half of the game and you start seeing those monks who look like they're in Slipknot or something.
Dude, they do.
It's like really you have to make them look evil.
Thank you. Like it's like our favorite game, Killzone. It's like
yeah,
we could have guessed that they were evil because of their actions.
What they're doing is bad.
Like the Pope shooting up with like rat blood, okay? Like we don't we don't need you to make these priests
doing blood transfusions with a little boy.
Like obviously evil. You know, they look like they're from Korn or Slipknot. Like like we got it. Yeah. They don't need to be like skinheads with like a tunic and like, you know what I mean? Like we knew they were evil. Same thing with Nicholas. Just so obviously evil. Like, why would anyone follow these guys? It's kind of like...
He basically has, like, black smoke emitting from his body.
It's ridiculous. It's like anyone in the Empire in Star Wars. Yeah. Like, at least there's, like, a threat of death there. But, like, no one would ever see Darth Vader or Darth Sidious and be like, oh, they're good guys.
Yeah.
Let's follow these guys, you know? But this is, like, times 10. It's way worse. So, I'm with you.
Yes. Mel is so annoying.
She's the worst. It's like interesting because I feel like there's the right amount of swearing in this game up until Mel. Because like I don't think Amicia. I think she might swear like once.
I don't
maybe
even know.
Never. Most of the swearing is like the guards, and you're like, you know, don't love this, but like it makes sense.
Yeah.
But then Mel is just like a middle schooler, you know, just like swear.
Yeah,
swear.
I will say her writing is really good, as in I wanted to kill her. Like, she was so annoying.
She was effective in being what she was.
Yeah, delinquent adolescent.
But I don't think that's what they wanted. But
probably not. They probably wanted you to care about her and love her and connect with her.
No,
but I did.
I never did.
I hated her. I was so happy when she wasn't there.
I just didn't like her. I just thought she was annoying.
She's not a likable person. Why would you want her in your Goonies club?
I don't know. That's the other thing. The Goonies, some of them are mean, but like you like them. You like all those kids. You like Chunk. You like Sean Astin and the other kids I don't remember. Yeah. You know, like, but these kids, man, especially Mel, not likable at all. And Rourke isn't either, or whatever his name is.
Roderick.
The killer. The serial killer.
Yeah, the serial killer. He gets his mitts on you, you're dead.
He waits until there's a black plague so he can kill people in peace.
The excuse.
He's literally Jack the Ripper.
He killed his dad.
Oh, I'm sure he did.
Taught him.
He probably caught the forge on fire. The smithery.
Yeah. And then he dies like a dog.
Like a dog.
Like a dog.
Literally.
Dog.
Like, couldn't
also,
they have just all pushed from the side?
That sequence.
Wait, there's also a place everyone goes under.
Yeah.
Why don't they just run?
Well, because of the arrows.
But like they can go down under and like crawl.
It doesn't matter. The arrows can like curve and hit you in the back of the head. Don't you know? Did you play the game?
I forgot War. No, I agree.
There were times that the arrows shot through the carriage and got me.
Yeah, me too. That section's annoying, especially because there's no checkpoints and it takes Roderick about 50 seconds to push the stupid thing.
Oh, yeah, you have to start pushing it for him to actually start pushing it. Because he was like, get out of the way. This isn't a girl's business. Like, I'm a big, strong boy.
Put on a dress.
And then the game doesn't save that you picked up all the items around you.
Oh, no.
So you have to go pick up everything again. Oh my gosh.
And there's a lot to pick up right before that.
There's a lot to pick up. It's really important to pick up right there. Especially if you want that platinum.
Which I got twice.
Yes, you did. But one of them was kind of cheating.
Cheating or smart?
You suffered once to, I guess, get the pass. That's fine.
Can we talk about... Sorry, this is probably going off in a totally different area.
Please.
The frame rate for the PS4 version.
Yes. What frame rate?
Exactly. Oh my gosh. How did people play this game? The thing is, I played the PS5 version for 5 minutes, got my platinum, and it was nice and very smooth. By the end of the PS4 version, having played it for like 14 hours, I didn't mind the frame rate. I got used to it. My eyes adjusted. But oh my gosh, at first, I thought I couldn't play it. It was running at like 20 frames per second. Like, it was painful to watch. Yeah. And I think that might be one of the reasons that you hated like turning around and doing stuff. It just feels like there's tons of latency because everything's like so sluggish. Like, it's bad.
I wanted to bash my own head in.
It hurt your eyes. And granted, is better on PS5. And I'm sure that's the version
It's a
most
lot
people
better
are
on
paying.
PS5. It's a much smoother, enjoyable experience.
Maybe that's part of the reason you hated this game so much.
Why? I played mostly on PS5.
You told me you mostly played on PS4 earlier.
I guess that's true.
You lied to this audience.
Here, I'll go through my notes. Because I wrote separate notes for the PS5 version. Oh, that's right. I did listen to podcasts while I was playing it again. So I wasn't paying attention.
You monster.
There was actually one thing. Oh, yeah. The Field of Bodies doesn't look as good on PS5 as it does on PS4.
Really? That's sad.
It was really weird. Like, some things looked better than others. And then some, like, just scenes just didn't look very good. Maybe it was, like, too much resolution. I could see too much of it.
No, that's interesting.
Oh, something that bothered me with the DualSense. You'd only feel the tapping of your footsteps if you're in water.
That's like the last place I'd think to feel it.
That's the last place I want to feel it.
I hate being in water.
I want to feel it like while I'm running around.
I'm scurrying.
But
No, I'm
like,
with you.
If you're like you're in a creek or a little stream, that's when you can start feeling the tapping. Nowhere else.
Bizarre.
I don't know if it's just my copy of the game or whatever. Yeah.
I'm so sorry. You had such a bad experience.
That's fine. And then the trigger resistance, not that great. With I don't know. People really like the DualSense features for this game, which is when you're near the rats, you can like
feel them scurrying. Ooh, that's
pretty much
cool.
like that. I just thought about bubbles and ice cubes. It made me think of Astrobot.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. It's fine, I guess. It's kind of cool because, like, if you're closer to the right side, it's more so on the right.
On the right side, yeah.
It's fine. It's not great. I mean, it's not Returnal.
Which is better and better every day.
Apparently. And it's definitely not Astrobot.
We should do a little retrospective, a little quick boy.
Maybe
Talking
we
about maybe our feelings have changed about games we've talked about.
Maybe we'll do it in a casual show.
Oh my gosh. Stay tuned, boys.
And girls.
And girl, perhaps. My mom.
There's 28 of you, I know.
Odds are 15 of you are women. No, I agree with everything you've said. I don't know if there's really much more to say about it besides fast.
Oh,
unless you got
there was one really cool DualSense feature. And it was at the very end when you go up towards the church. The ringing of the church bell is vibrating out of your controller, and it sounds like the church bell. And that was really cool.
That's cool. I like that.
And that's it. That's the only cool thing about the game. I hate this game.
Dang. I hear that, Asobo. He hates French people.
Oh. I wrote this down. PS4 is like pulling teeth, and the PS5 is like brushing teeth.
Yeah, that's the perfect tooth analogy.
Thank you.
Thank you. No, that was good. I think this was a good look at the game. I think that a lot of the reviews out there are not perfectly accurate to the experience of playing this game. Personally, I think it's worse than people say, but also they don't communicate why it's good.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you know what I mean? I just think there's games with better narratives, but there's not a lot of games with better worlds, and just the immersion factor and the looks, but also, oh my gosh, some of these mechanics make you want to shoot yourself, and the game's just too long. Anyways, that's I think, a brief summary of how I feel about the game, and how we're better than every game reviewer to ever live.
Yes, we are. The side characters are annoying at worst and forgettable at best. I think is a good way of putting it. It bothers me that the game goes from fairly grounded to fantasy really fast.
You don't like the rat tornadoes?
I don't like the rat tornadoes.
I do wish they'd formed the rats into a different shape. Like, I agree.
Anything else?
Because I don't mind him controlling the rats.
No, it was just like the little cones.
I don't know what they were thinking. Like, I get they needed some indicator.
Like something out of Crash Bandicoot.
Like a wave would have been better.
Yeah, like the waves that they do.
Right? Like, wouldn't that
Already?
just have made more sense? Sorry, I'm hijacking what you're saying, but I
No,
agree with you.
I've been talking a lot. I don't want to come off as too negative. I mean, this game is fine.
It's very good.
It's fine.
What would you, if you had to give it a number rating, what would you give it? With 0 as the actual bottom, for some reason IGN thinks that 4 is the bottom. I don't know what the deal with that is.
Yeah, 0 being the
0
actual
is the
bottom.
bottom. So like 5 is middle ground. You know, 7 is actually quite good. 10 is like the best game ever made. So on,
Yeah.
I don't know why we live with a 5-point scale inside of a 10-point scale for some reason in modern gaming news. Who the heck knows?
People are too afraid to give games low scores.
That's why Chris gives every game a low
0. Yeah. The Last of Us Part 2 is a 2.
2 for the
It's
2,
easy.
eh? I'm going to give this score 1 point for every rat.
Let's see, this game. I have to really I want to be objective because my feelings are going to get in the way, and I want to give it a really low score. But I don't want to do that because there is effort put into the game. There is passion put into the game.
They tried.
The story is not good, but the world is good. And the potential is really good. I'll give this game a 5.5.
Wow, interesting. So just above average. So it's like, what's a Black Ops 4? We didn't even play that game. We can't give it a grade.
I mean, it's like multiplayer and zombies.
It's a very different experience. What about Uncharted 2?
Uncharted 2, I mean, it's like a 6.
This is the thing.
I'm gonna give this game Plague Tale's a 4.5.
Interesting. I think it's...
I have to go there.
For me, it's a 7.5.
Wow.
It's far better than any of the Uncharted games.
What?
I hate the Uncharted games.
Dude, you're insane.
They suck so much.
You haven't played Uncharted 3 yet since I've played it for the podcast, which we still haven't done yet.
You see how big I'm rolling?
Yeah, I see how... I see that. Uncharted's way better.
No, it's not. Uncharted 1's like a 6. Uncharted 2 is probably a 7. Uncharted 3 is like a 5.5. Uncharted 4 is a solid 7.5. This game is good. I think this game makes up for its failings. But that's me. I understand. I get it.
This game is just not for me. I don't understand
I think
it.
you just weren't good at this game.
It's
man.
not that, because I was able to play the game. The game just is bad.
Well, people who are paralyzed can walk sometimes. I mean, I don't think you. I mean, how many times did you die? Apparently, you're testing how
More
close
than
you
I
get
think
to
I
people.
should have died, and all those reasons were not my fault. I promise you, they weren't my fault.
All right, I believe.
I promise.
I believe you. I believe you.
There are
Chris.
so many times where it's not even me dying. It's like, oh, darn it, my mom got touched by a rat and she died.
Yeah,
You know?
I understand.
Oh no, Lucas got caught on fire somehow.
I know. There were some annoying parts.
It's just, that's another thing. It's like, okay, it's fine you put a character for me to take care of, I have to protect, but to let them just die,
They have to not be stupid.
they have to not be stupid, and that's really hard to do with AI.
I agree.
And the only reason why other AIs like Atreus or Ellie or
Leon.
Nadine, I think that's her name, why they're good is because they can't die. So it's like,
Yeah.
I'm not even paying attention to them.
You don't
But
have to
they're doing
worry.
good things. They're helping me out.
I understand, and I agree. It's more. It's a 7 for me,
Okay.
or like a 6.8
I like that. I like that more.
because it's lower.
That sounds right. I will say the best part of the game, we've touched on it before, is when you find the herbs.
Oh yes, when she
Those
puts
are the
little
best.
flowers in her hair.
Yeah, when you
love
find the
those
flowers,
flowers.
that's the most humanizing part of the game.
And I love that she wears them and you can see them in her hair.
Yeah.
I think I wish that she kept all of them,
That
even
would
though
be
flowers don't work that way.
Even if she just, I mean, they're only around for, I mean, actually, months go by in this game.
Yeah.
Mind.
But I thought the same thing. I was like, oh, I wish that.
But that was nice. I hate that there's collectibles though in the game. I like the flowers. Flowers make sense. Why am I lugging around all this crap?
Some of them are big. Some of them are like a jar, you know.
Some of them are just like straight up armor.
I wish that you could just see it and it's like a memory. Like more like Nathan Drake where you like draw it.
Yeah.
Like some things it
like
makes sense to pick
game,
up.
like called Uncharted.
No, it's not. like a coin. Like, yeah, pick up the coin. That's not weird.
Yeah, the
but
coin's fine.
But don't bring like a urine jug with you or something. Like
a Roman helmet.
Yeah, or like a scythe straight up. Like, okay, yeah, strap that to your back. I agree with you. Plus,
that's right, you do.
Just, oh my gosh, I just hate collectathons.
Me too.
I'm not made to platinum games. My name is not Chris Middling. I hate going back and like going 10 minutes through a level just to get one collectible, quitting out and then going to a new level. I just don't enjoy it.
This game needed like a Naughty Dog level select thing where it's like you pick the level and then you pick the encounter. Yes. Oh, that would have made this game such a breeze. Like
it was better than something like Hellblade. Mm-hmm. Like if you miss one of those stupid little things in Hellblade,
stones, yeah,
you're done. Like you can have another playthrough, bub. And like for real, Hellblade, one of my favorite games ever made. I'm probably never gonna get the platinum because guess what? I don't want to go through and play the 9-hour game over again.
I got the platinum.
Yeah, I hate you.
You're not a real fan.
I am not a fan. I got all of them but one, Chris. But one.
I people make the, they say Plague Tale is very much like Hellblade. I see it, kind of. Hellblade's much better than this.
Oh yeah, Hellblade's like.
And I don't think just because amazing. You're a girl who dies in one hit qualifies as Hellblade.
I think the thing is, I don't know of a game that it's more similar to. Simply because I think the reason they actually compare them isn't the gameplay. I think it's the fidelity and the fact that it's a AA game and the hour, like the amount of time it takes and the focus on narrative. I think that's the reason they're compared.
Maybe. I can see that.
Hellblade is much better.
Also... though. That's another thing that bothered me. I'm sorry. I just have countless things that just bother me just a little bit.
This game is very good. Play this game if it's free for sure.
And I love Amicia's first outfit. It's just her normal clothes.
You don't like her Skyrim outfit?
Yeah, I don't like her assassin one glove stupid outfit with the one elbow brace.
Yeah, I was confused by the one elbow. Because I think that's for most of the game. She has her elbow
That's for
thing.
the entire game. Because at the end, she just puts on like a fur blanket.
What's the deal with that? What's the deal with the elbow guard? Is that a weak elbow?
It bothered me because it was like, this was obviously designed by someone who does like fantasy design art,
I mean, it looks cool.
I think it looks cool. It should look functional.
I agree. It's just, it did confuse me. Like, why does she have like the one? Like, maybe she just couldn't find glove,
one piece of armor. She has like her shirt just tucked in just nicely. Then she has like a little thing going.
Well, she's got to look nice.
Oh, of course.
For the killers.
For her son or her brother.
No, I agree. I mean, I did love her first outfit more.
Yeah.
I agree with you. But I mean, I do get wearing the blanket, but I'm with you. I especially like the one elbow pad. I'm like, what is she like? Did she lose her other one like roller skating? What's going on? A little funky.
Just a little bit funky. She has like 10 belts on.
She's got as many as she can handle, dude. Here's the thing. I like the length of the podcast right now. I think we've said as much as there is to say. We could go an hour talking about the crafting and the resources. But suffice to say, it's just too much. Cut that down. I don't want to be collecting resources the entire time. I don't want to upgrade my stupid sling. I thought that was annoying.
Mm-hmm.
Just give me my abilities. Let me play this game.
That's upgrading slings in 1438.
And what do you like? How do you upgrade a sling? Like you braid some of your hair into it? Like, no, I'm with you, man. I thought it was stupid. Oh, no, it's silent because I used more leather. I understand. But I don't really want to talk about it. I think most people agree that that's just like kind of annoying.
If you've played it, it's like I think this game is like you either love it or you hate it.
Yeah, I think it's divisive. It's really good. And you guys should play it.
Yeah. You ready for some fast ones?
I'm prepared for some really negative fast ones.
No, they're not. Actually, I thought they were pretty good.
Interesting.
You don't have any fast ones, do you?
You're going to be like, kill yourself or play A Plague's Tale. And you'll say, kill yourself.
We'll see. Just hold your horses.
I don't
Hold
have
your little rats.
I'm holding my rats back.
Um,
They're scurrying out of my my sleeves.
If you could bring back one character, who would it be?
Nicholas. I'm kidding. Probably their dad. I liked his fresh haircut, his fresh slice, as it were.
Say it one more time.
His the dad.
Oh, I wasn't even thinking about the parents. Yeah,
I liked his haircut. And I liked his sword. I
the
liked his
only-
design, even though he was way too modern.
yeah.
Or the dog. I'd bring back Leon.
Leon.
Leon!
Oh my gosh, it's so annoying.
I loved it. Lion dog. Because I don't think I'd want the side characters back. Like, let Roderick be
No.
dead. I don't want Mel in the game. Arthur was hardly in the game.
Arthur.
And then pretty much no one else who mattered died. But like the old
Yeah.
alchemist, I'd just bring back her dad. He's kind of a cool
Yeah,
guy.
that's the best answer you could have given.
It would ruin the narrative. but I like
I
it.
think it would have been fine. Do you think they should have gone more grounded or fantasy?
I think they should have leaned into the fantasy, or like, I like the way it is. Just don't have rat tornadoes.
Yeah.
Like, I like that it's like this gritty, dark fantasy. You know, I like that he can control the rats, and there's this like, ancient legend and like this almost Masonic order that's there to protect people from the rats. I like that.
Mhm.
And I like the Inquisition. I like the pseudoscience of him like shooting up with rat blood. I think it's interesting. But I just don't like the rat tornadoes. I just think they look dumb. I don't know if that makes sense.
No, that makes perfect sense.
I'm a perfect
I
man.
would lean more grounded.
You would.
For sure.
Because guess what your favorite mode is in The Last of Us?
Grounded.
That's right.
Boy.
You're grounded, Chris.
That's right. Regular rats or albino rats?
Oh, regular rats.
Yeah.
Screw those stupid white rats.
I hate those white rats.
I was like, this is dumb. But I get it. Like, it did need to look a little different.
This game has a lot of similarities to Gears of War to me.
It's how fat Amicia is. Oh, Roderick.
just-
Roderick could have been a Gears of War guy.
You're right, he could have been.
Is he not?
And-
Marcus Phoenix?
And Nicholas, he could have been a Gears of War character.
that's true.
But
And there are holes in the ground where
There are-
people shoot out of
exactly,
the locust.
the emergency holes, it's just Gears of War.
This game is a ripoff.
And the rats function just like the krill.
Oh my gosh. Has
Were
someone
you-
told Phil Spencer? They need to
should.
tell him.
Cliffy B, where are you?
Dang, dude. Who knew they were stealing their work? This is probably actually Gears 7. As the
He
kids
skipped
call it.
6.
When he's 6 when he got Super Pope. There is a lot of like almost Catholic Warhammer-esque imagery in...
Exactly. That's what I've been saying. Like
Is this just the French Gears game?
This is what I'm saying. Like, this is just the worst part of all my favorite video games.
Chris's favorite video game is Gears of War 1. Actually, Gears of War 5.
Maybe.
Perhaps.
Never played it.
Who needs to? Not that we have Gears 7.
Death by rats or by fire?
I don't think I ever got lit on fire once in my entire playthrough.
Well, just think about it. Would you rather be burned to death or be eaten alive?
Probably be burned to death.
Yeah.
I don't like the idea of the rats crawling on my body.
Crawling inside of you.
That too.
Crawling out of you.
Out of my mouth. I'd be like the guy from Jungle Cruise. For all the 7 people who have watched that movie, you're welcome. No, I think I'd rather be burned alive. I mean, if I see one rat, I think I might die of fear.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe I'd do the rats, because then I would just, like that, be dead.
Yeah. You die pretty fast by rats in the game.
That's true. If you're on fire, you'll burn around. You might roll into some rats trying to stop, drop, and roll.
Yeah.
I'd go rats.
Yeah.
It'd be faster. What about you?
Yeah, rats.
You're a rat guy?
Yeah.
You're a rat man?
If I go head first, I'm dead sooner.
Just stick your eyes in there. Come on, buddies. It's like 1984.
If you were born in this time, what profession would you have?
What would my job be in 1438 France? Would we be members of the Inquisition, do you think?
Oh.
Would we be those two dudes that look exactly the same that kill 14-year-old girls on sight?
Maybe.
I think...
I feel like we would be bards.
As always, in everything we can be. I think we'd either be like...
Or beggars.
We'd probably be thieves. The worst thing is we would actually be Mel and
We
Arthur.
would be Mel and Arthur. That's the sad thing.
You'd be Leon.
Shut up.
No, you're right. I think we'd be thieves together.
Yeah, you're right.
Where would our wives be?
Dad, I don't know.
My wife would be doing something important and alive.
What would you do during the plague? Like, how? Like, what would your reaction be? What's your game plan?
Let me tell you. So, Grace and I recently watched A Quiet Place Part 2, which is a very good movie that Chris will not watch.
Are you going to spoil it right now?
I'm not going to.
Okay.
But if you've seen A Quiet Place Part 1, any of the movies, or 28 Days Later, any movie where there's like this horrible disease or this horrible event that makes it so you can't live life like a normal person, right? Like you can't make noise in a quiet place. You can't exist hardly in 28 Days Later. Like, any of these zombie films.
Yeah, you can't get blood in your eye.
Don't do that. Yes, stop cutting people open, Roderick. Any of these worlds, Grace and I have talked about it. She's like, I'd just kill myself. Like, I'd just die. Like, she and my mother-in-law were like, I'm dead. Like, I'm throwing myself to the rats. I'm out. Because the idea of living in such a horrible world and, like, having such a horrible life is just, like, repugnant.
Hope is meaningless to them. Like,
dude, right? Like, I'm always like, they're hopeful movies because they live and they build a new society.
Yeah.
And then they're like, I'd rather die. Anyways, so for me, first of all, I'd be a widower. Second of all, I would do whatever to survive. I think I'd go the Amicia route.
Just get a boat.
Yeah, dude.
Live in the ocean.
Live on the water, man. Eat the sharks in the water.
Just sail somewhere else.
I'd find you and hang out with you, and I think we'd go down the river.
Yeah.
And hope the rats don't into the river and make a river of their own. If they can make tornadoes, why not hurricanes?
You're right. Oh my gosh.
But
make rogue waves.
I would do whatever though. I would live. Yeah. I'm not gonna flop over and die, Grace. Anyways, that's how I feel. What do you think?
Get a boat. Just get away from the land. I mean, it's pretty simple.
Just conjure a boat. Make just like go Nephi.
Find a boat.
Just go make one.
Don't even make one. Just find one.
Just pull a Titanic. Make a Titanic and get out there.
Yeah.
Easy
peasy.
Yeah, freaking, what's the guy who directed that? Avatar boy? James Cameron?
Yeah.
Just James Cameron it.
Perfect. Who would win in a fight? Lara Croft or Amicia?
Lara Croft.
Yeah? Even with the slingshot?
Have you seen Lara Croft with, like, her toenail? Lara Croft is a straight killer. We still have not covered a game with a person that could reliably kill Lara Croft. I'm not even sure, like, the Doomslayer could do it. Because she's, like, archdemon herself, man. He might be able to.
He might.
But poor Amicia.
No.
I mean, there's no way. Lara Croft is the end boss of all video games.
Would shove her hand in her mouth and then, like, spring her fingers open and explode her head.
Lara Croft's terrifying, man. She took down a jaguar with nothing. I agree.
All right. Since you brought up jaguars.
Jaguars. Oh my gosh.
Mythed out jaguars or rats? Who wins?
Who wins?
Yeah.
It's gotta be the rats.
Yeah?
Yeah. I'm not sure. I don't think Lara Croft could beat the rats. I think Lara Croft would lose to rats.
You don't think she would, like, develop an immunity to them somehow?
She might. She also might just, like, hurricane kick them all. I've got to go with the rats, though.
Yeah.
The rats are an all-consuming force.
Okay. I like
Literally.
that. Okay. Do you think Team Asobo is stuck with a Plague Tale for a while? Or do you think they can make other games?
I think they definitely can. Let me check the developers. I'm trying to think about what else they've developed. I know they're published by Asobo Interactive, but Team Asobo is the one who made A Plague Tale. I don't think so. I think they're going to get this game, the second game, and maybe a third game. and I think they're going to move on to something new.
What would that third game be called?
Oh, something
stupid.
Really dumb. Oh my gosh, dude. I forgot about this.
What?
I have played their first game.
What is it?
You're not going to believe this.
I'm waiting.
Ratatouille. That's where the rat fetish began.
Of course.
It's not bad.
Of course.
I mean, it is bad. It's like a 3D platformer. Grace and I played it on PS Now like a year ago. When I saw they developed it, I was like, that's hilarious. That's amazing. Awesome. Also, they worked on Microsoft Flight Simulator.
Yeah, I heard about that.
But no, I don't think they're stuck with it. I think they're going to do Ratatouille 2. I think they're going to get the second one done. It might be the end. If not, they'll do the third, and the third won't be good. Hopefully it is. But
yeah,
I think there's room for one more game. And then I think they're going to do something totally new. Gears 8.
Do you think they will do something like with this, whatever, I forgot what their technology is called for the rats that they're so like impressed with?
I mean, it's cool. I can't really think of a lot of games that have done something similar that's been as effective. But I understand what you're saying. I mean, it's pretty much lava. But
pretty much yeah.
Lava. I mean, maybe they do something with a horde, but I think that it would get stale after 2 games. I think they're done with the rats. Plus, the rats are no longer a threat because you have, Hugo Jedi Master over here.
You're right.
I'm rat.
You are a rat. Okay, and one last question. Do you think they should be acquired by Xbox or PlayStation? There are rumors that they're being eyed by at least Xbox. Do you think they have proven themselves?
I don't think so. I think this game has so much potential just because of the world they create. I love it. And I want to be back there in the horrible streets of France. But I don't think they should be acquired. I don't think they've proven themselves.
I have a theory for you. It's a really good one.
I'm terrified. I also do think, even if it's ancillary, their association with Greedfall is not a good thing, because Greedfall was bad.
People love that game.
I know, but I think it's similar to this situation where there's tons of flaws with the game, but there's just love. And the people who made the game loved it. And there's this beautiful art for it. So,
would you play Greedfall now that there's 60 FPS?
No. I don't want it.
Sucks.
I just don't want it. Maybe it's good. Maybe I'm missing out.
People say it's the next Mass Effect, which it definitely isn't, because I played Mass Effect after Greedfall. I was like, this is way better.
I could be wrong. If you guys want us to play Greedfall, we probably still won't. But
we won't listen to you.
But anyways, for me, like, it's associations like, these are guys that need more practice. They need more practice making a game that's actually good as a game beyond just the world building and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Anyways, that's what I think. But what's your theory, man?
I think
what's your little theory?
I think they're going to be bought for $1 billion by Tencent.
By Tencent.
And Tencent is going to use their rat technology to control the actual living rats in the United States to take over our country.
Oh my gosh, I think you're right, dude. I think you're right. Everyone knows that Joe Biden is actually one of the head executives at Tencent.
Yeah. It's over.
We're done.
They already have the rats.
The rats are already here.
When's the last time you've seen a rat?
Oh no, you're right. They're all freaking gathering under the White House.
They're all hiding. They're gathering. They're coming to attack.
What if Joe Biden's not even a person anymore? He's just a sack full of rats.
A sack full of rats.
He's a flesh suit full of living rats. That would explain so much. That's why I can't remember stuff. Yeah. He's just full of rats.
Dude. Communist rats at that.
Oh, not the red ones. Oh no. Oh my gosh. I like your theory.
Thank you. I think it's gonna happen.
That's funny. And probably.
Yeah.
I hope no one acquires them though. For real.
Yeah, they don't deserve it.
It's just like, you need to show me one more good game. If you show me a really good one, you can be acquired. Shut up, Christ. Sorry. She just tried to call me.
Wife.
No! Reject!
Yeah, I hope the birds haven't been coming through, because I've been hearing them.
It's just background,
It's just, it's just context. It's
texture.
Texture.
Speaking of, the way the podcast looks and sounds, tell us what you think. Do you like our setup? Do you like the background? Do you like our faces? Should we just wear bags over our heads? What do you think of this format? Just let us know.
Our thought process is to fit as much crap behind us as possible.
Oh.
So that you don't know what to look at.
We want to look like a GameStop dumpster.
We want to blend in with the background.
That's why Chris wore black, and I was trying to match the boxes here. Very similar color. But this has been an awesome episode. I think this was actually...
It's been great.
Very good. I should do less work all the time and never write any notes.
That's the way you do it, man.
It's the way to do it. It's the way to do it. It's like a Sobo directs and makes games.
Yeah, they don't do it.
There's little thought put into it as possible. But yeah.
Play
this game if it's free or if it's on sale.
It's not free anymore.
That's true. I would pay $30 for this game. Or $25. I'd go 15.
It's just pretty high.
It's definitely worth playing.
Yes.
And with that, our sponsor, Zions Energy, leaves you. Official sponsor of the UFC. And Futon Talks.
I don't think they are. No, not anymore.
Just us. We're that big. We're that big. UFC, Conor McGregor, come to Chris's house right now. Okay?
Yeah,
we'll fight you. He can't make a podcast as good as ours.
You can't understand him.
I'm terrified of Conor McGregor.
But yeah, we love you guys. This has been a good one.
It's been fun. We might have a little extra package, a little extra secret coming for you. We have to see.
It's gonna be good.
But we love you guys. We're grateful. And subscribe on Patreon. If you like this content, the money that goes to Patreon goes directly into making this wall of boxes higher. But it's what makes the show possible, man. We love doing it, but our wives are like, hey, you need to stop spending money on your stupid stuff for your little podcast. Prove them wrong by donating to Patreon. Thank you.
Thank you.
Goodbye.
Bye-bye.